Last night, I dropped the bomb on you that we had to hit G-Wing when the plan was to hit it today all along. Many of you asked me why I received orders. Now, that was deemed classified information, so I couldn't tell any of you. And it's still classified information, and I can't tell any of you. But last night it was identified that Morgana was in G-Wing, which is why the order was given to me to move on G-Wing immediately. And I haven't told you that because that would be breaking my classification. So now you know. Now Morgana escaped. She is one of the most powerful matters being held here, and she needs to be apprehended. We also have one more area of the compound to clear and secure.
Supermax Solitary?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Alright? Grab some free time while you can. It's going to be a busy day.
Cool. Go see Sparky. And grab my still. Go see Sparky about possibly getting a through on our workplace.
He's busy.
How is he gone? He can't have gone.
Who does that?
When he was here. Like... Oh, he's behind us. He walked towards us, that's why. Hello. Sure.
Where's Rifle upgrade standing? Not upgrade? Yeah. 10 minutes ago. Kind of missed him out.
Okay, last night basically the world between the Middleverse and this universe was sealed closed. My sister Jules is a key to it, but there's still, what are they called? These are the horns. Ethereals, that's the one. There's still some of those trapped in the Middleverse. So basically we're going to use my sister, she's the key, to open the gateway, go in, grab a ton of ethereals and get back, like all the people who are stuck, and then go through and just basically burn everything down.
Try and keep all that rope.
So in clean myself out, I got 950. I don't know if that's going to help at all. So take all of that.
I just want to see, because you do 3 damage there.
Yeah.
So you do the low, instead of doing quads.
Nice.
I'm right now. Put your weapon on there.
Cool. Is this the only one that we're going to be able to do?
Well,
Is there another one?
Yeah, there is another one.
So clear out my money. Take it by whatever you need. All we've got in there is cash, so don't worry about taking anything
I'll
else.
wait like 10 minutes for that.
So you'll get some from Archangel as well. So yeah, we could both do the upgrades. How long do the upgrades last before they need to be rebuilt?
Yeah.
A year? It's not too bad.
But because luckily it's not crazy amount, but it's just there's a lot of it at the minute, so obviously we're just stuck up.
Yeah. Is it until the end of the sixth contact, or is it the end of the 5th?
End of the 6th.
Sure, that's nice.
Thank you. I always end with that, but it is always gratifying to see people go with the crazy shit that comes out of our brains at 3 a.m. in the morning. Especially under some interesting circumstances. So genuinely, the first thing I'd like to say about myself, Kelly, and the whole team is thank you. We had some ideas for some long-term plot, but we wanted to make sure we could deliver our ideas first, have the we said to a lot of you at LARPCon and beyond, this event bookmarks the first of our major plot arcs going forward.
You've basically just done the prequel comic.
A couple of ground rules before we continue. As far as the world is concerned, it's all gone.
If that question would come up, this must mean you have no access to things such as phones, social media, laptops, the internet. You have no way of contacting each other or the world at large.
Therefore, let me restate very clearly on the OC notes, please support this. Please, those of you that are here, those of you that have IC Twitter accounts, those of you that have IC chats, I appreciate you might need to organise things OC, that's fine. Please support this, please buy into this. Do not use any form of IC social media until after the March event. And that is it.
Right, so obviously the game's over, and this is the group that adopted me, so thank you, I'm not paying attention, but thank you, thank you, and thank you. Thank you for adopting me for the event. Oh, and that one as well, another one, the Butler. Yeah, so we've got Cyber Samurai, Wastelander, the Butler, Final Fantasy Villain, and Posh Bane, that was the one. Yeah, so they've looked after me this event, so thank you guys. Yeah.
There was more than that. There was more than that.
They're all the dead guys, apparently. Yeah, and then hopefully do more, and I get to go home and have a shower.
Okay, so it's now probably about 2 weeks after the event. I didn't film this for ages because I'm a terrible person. So the things that I want to... Oh, you're going to be in this video, are you, Fury? So the things I want to say about the game. The game is very good. My intent was to go to the game and judge it based off of what I see from that event, because I was really looking forward to the setting. I wanted to go there before. It's an awesome opportunity to roleplay in a prison. I feel as though I was unable to correctly judge, or I can't correctly judge Future's End based off of what I saw that event. I know there were a lot of problems, and they worked really, really hard to actually work around the issues that they've got. There were so many things working against them, but I still think they pulled off a good game. With being a new character, obviously I was low statted, I wasn't as high up as the other ones. So when you run a game, you obviously run two types of missions. You run the ones for the players who are really, really big and hench and powerful and have been there since the beginning, so they can keep increasing their big, awesome, cool, huge character. Fair. But then you also run the little spottish missions for the people who aren't combat heavy, who aren't old characters, who are new and who are a bit squidgy. So obviously the problem is when you run a game, you have a plot that you need to continue. That plot that you need to continue is often put in with the heavy hitting characters, because you can put in a lot cooler stuff. You don't have to worry about killing players because they're hard enough, they can deal with it. But because there were so many problems and they had to cut the amount of things running out, sorry, I'm checking to make sure Fury isn't banging into the... Never mind. Because it had so many problems with that event and that area and that location, they had to cut the amount of missions that were going out, and to continue on the storyline that they needed to complete in that area, they had to cut a lot of the smaller, less important missions out and basically stick with the big ones, the big heavy hitting missions, which obviously because you've pre-written them, you can't suddenly change them on the day due to any problems. So I didn't get to go out on a lot of missions, which is fair, because again I feel as though, and I've heard that regularly there are a lot of missions for lower level players and higher level players as well. The location was good, but I didn't feel as though there was the divide from Alpha and Omega that I'd been hearing about at previous games. I felt as though it was very reunited. Now I know that some NPCs had picked up on it and kind of had pushed the fact that we're working together, working really, really well, but I kind of was hoping for a bit more of that kind of X-Men, Xavier versus Magneto kind of thing, of we're both trying to help people out, we're both good guys, but I don't like you and you don't like me. And I wanted there to be a bit more of a clear divide. But again, I don't know if that was just the setting, because we're all lumped into one area. It's very difficult to get that thematic divide from a location that's so united and close. Another issue I had was seating. I spent a lot of my time on one of the days just outside on the floor. There wasn't a lot of seating in the area of the venue, but there's not really very much you can do about that. That's more of a venue problem. I mean, to try and bring 160 to 200 chairs, it's not going to happen. So again, I spent a lot of the time sat outside on the floor in the damp and the cold, but that's my problem. There were a couple of barriers that you could sit on, but there also wasn't really anywhere outside that was covered to kind of sit and have a smoke or just kind of get some fresh air. So a lot of people ended up just outside in the rain, which wasn't good. The one main issue that I have with the game and kind of with systems that involve nerf are that if you have a monster or a creature that is resistant to a certain amount of damage, so obviously you have, I'm going to try and put this easily for people who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Normally as a character you'll have 2 hit points. You then have an armor value. Let's say your armor value is 1. The rifle I was using calls a damage of 3, so whenever you shoot anyone, pew pew, whenever you shoot someone you call a triple, so 3 lots of damage. Quick maths done there, you have to say, right, my armor value is 1, so I take 1 damage off of the triple that someone's calling, which calls 2 damage. Now then that's 2 and 2, which means I'm down to 0, so I'm unconscious. Let's say your armor value was 2, take 2 off of it, that means 1, so I've got 1 hit point left. But the problem is when you shoot something that, say for example, has an armor value of 3 and you're shooting triples and it negates it, a lot of the bad guys or the monster crew, should I say, didn't react to it because they knew they were immune or they were told not to take damage until so and so. I kind of feel as though, because bullets are such a scarce resource in that system, that there needs to be a vocal signifier to state that the bullets aren't doing any damage. So let's say like you're hitting someone with metal armor. Let's say you're shooting at someone who's got armor. If you shoot them in real life, obviously you'll see the bullets either bounce off, you'll hear them hit something and drop to the floor, you'll hear a ricochet noise, whatever. Obviously we're dealing with mutants and stuff like that, so you got people like Metal Skin, like the guy from X-Men, can't remember his name, Colossus. Shoot him, they ricochet off, no damage, perfectly fine. I'm not against that, but I feel as though there needs to be a vocal distinguisher and identifier for when that happened. Now I know with magic and physical contact, if someone tries to hit you with a weapon and does no damage when they do a call, so if someone hits you with a sword and shouts single or double, and obviously your armor is 1 or 2 and you can negate that damage, you shout no effect, which means that obviously it's a vocal call to say that what you're casting does nothing. Now if there was a ricochet or kind of like a verbal identifier to say that the bullets aren't doing any damage, I think that would be really, really good for cancelling out how much ammunition is used and still not meaning you have to chuck a ton more in there. Because the problem I was having was I was shooting people, wasn't getting any damage in there, wasn't sure if I was getting any damage in there, so I would just keep shooting and then would run out of ammo and then be useless. So I think even if, say for example, if people got shot and they shouted ping or ricochet or deflect or something like that, or even no effect, but I know a lot of people like to try and keep no effect just to magic, that would be massively beneficial to the shooting game. Obviously that's the only area of the game that I really explored. I did try and go into the crafting options as well. I'm trying to stay away from being too much like Jonah, my character from Empire, as much as possible, because that game involves a lot of walking around, no combat, no real plot. However, for this character, oh, she's going up. For this character, I want to try and actually get into combat, but we're going to be mostly a kind of scouting combat group. Like I said, the problem that I was finding with the mission sets that were going out was that they were very heavy centric. So if you had missions where people were going out and you were going, oh, I want to go on this, and like, oh, cool, you've got a rifle, that's fantastic, and you go, yeah, I've got a rifle, I can call quads, and they're like, brilliant, what armor do you have? And you go, oh, I light. And they're like, no, we just need heavies. Fuck off. You're like, oh, I'll go over there then. by. Again, I can't judge the game. I feel as though there need to be a few more light missions or scouting missions, whereby you can take players like the medics who aren't combat, the engineers who might not be combat, the chemists who might not be combat, who put all their points into like I want to say the downtime, but that's not what I mean, the kind of the off mainstream area of the game, where you research new weapon upgrades, you research new chemicals, you research new first aid techniques, etc. to boost, to almost basically fuel the big main heavy hitters. But they're doing that, which is probably about an hour or two's intense roleplay and gameplay to find those things, and then that's it over the weekend. There isn't a lot of anything else. Now, I've played an apothecary obviously as Jonah, and when I was an apothecary I was finding that yes, I had a lot of I had herbs, I had stacks of herbs. However, once I'd sold them all, that's my game. Everyone has their own apothecary, no one needs one. Like, you can walk around and say I can make all these things, I can make all these potions, but no one comes to you, because each group, when they generate, if they need one, they will have one in their group of mates. They'll have sorted that out, so there's not really any point in them. So I know that the apothecary game is almost, unless your group specifically goes, we're going to go into apothecary stuff, we want to hit that hard, you're going to be our apothecary, you are going to have very limited game for all bar probably 1 or 2 hours over your weekend. And if you want a light game like that, that's fine. But I know that a lot of people get into it wanting to go full in, full hard, let's do this. That sounded a little bit too sexual. I feel as though there needs to be something for those people who also want kind of a slow chugging over game, where day one they do something, in the afternoon they go out for a battle, you know, a little bit of a scrap. But again, from what I saw, and again this is only from what I saw, there weren't enough situations where the little people were needed as much as the heavy people. That may have been down to, again, the lack of possible combats that they sent out. I don't know. I'm planning on going to the next one, hopefully, at which point I will update my review. I don't want to, again, poo-poo this one, but it was pretty good. Empire is still where my heart is. I love that now. I've got a character for, what, five and a half years? Keep on plodding on with Jonah, and we'll keep doing the reviews on that one. But I did enjoy it. It was really nice to be able to say, I'm cold, I'm just going to put on another t-shirt, and not think, does the t-shirt have sleeves that stick out the side that aren't in keeping with the aesthetic? Can I wear some comfier shoes because these boots that I'm wearing are destroying my feet? Yes, I can wear trainers. Oh, fantastic. Nerf combat was different. It basically becomes chaos. The problem with Nerf as well is you can't always figure out when people have hit you either. So if you're wearing, like, I was wearing a backpack for the majority of that thing, and also a shooting vest that I used to wear for paintball. Now the problem with that was that I was worried I was being hit a lot, and I just didn't know. So if anyone hit me, or shot me, or caught me or anything, and I didn't take it, I'm really sorry, it wasn't deliberate. But again, that's my overall review of the Future's End LARP. I will be going back again. I hope you like this 3 set of videos. I'm sorry this one took so long to come out. I had kind of a week off because I lost my SD cards and my batteries, and I'm getting a call from Lowestoft apparently. I don't know anyone who lives in Lowestoft. I hope you like these videos. I will keep trying to do them. I am sorry for the delay in posting the 3rd one. I am going to put up as well in full the full night footage of kind of the, I don't want to say the ritual, that doesn't sound right, with the fire rope between, is it Name Eater? I want to say Name Eater. I don't think it's Name Eater, but I'm going to say Name Eater anyway. And with those two guys, that was really, really cool. The audio quality on it isn't great because I'm using a housing for the GoPro to keep it from getting water damage, because the one I'm using now, which is open, is obviously open, so it's not great. But thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, it does help me. When I get to 100, I'm going to do some horrific video where I'm going to spin something and eat some terrible shit, basically. Don't want to, but someone suggested I probably should. Hit that like button as well if you did like these videos. It does always help, helps me know what I need to keep on doing. I think I'm probably going to end up going more into LARP videos, because gameplay videos are oversaturated. Vlogs and blogs, I don't do enough every day to make that interesting, as most of the time I'm just sat down, like, in my pants. So yeah, I think it's mostly just going to be building vlogs and LARP vlogs, which is fine by me, you know. Expensive, but fine by me. But as always, stay awesome.